Hello and welcome to the homework video for 6th grade for April the 10th. This is going to be covering our area of polygons. I originally recorded this video and never changed the perspective off of my face. While I think I did a rather good job explaining it, you won't be able to see anything, so I'm going to re-record this. So let's go ahead and take a look at our problems from the lesson. And so I've already written everything in, which is fine. However, I'm going to explain everything as we go. I had pre-written everything to save time, and my horrible chicken scratch handwriting takes forever to do with these pens on this whiteboard app. So to start with, we are going to take our base, which is 9 yards, multiply it by 1/2 of that and our height, which is 6.2. So I would take this part here because I think this one's easier to work with, cut that in half, get 3.1 times 9 to get 27.9. I have 5 sides for a polygon, or for my pentagon. My polygon is a pentagon. So I have 5 sides, so I'm going to multiply it by 5 sides because each one of these is going to meet at the center. That's going to give me 139.5 yards squared for the area. Number 4. I just dragged and moved everything. All right, number 4, we have a stained glass window in the shape of a pentagon. So again, we are going to have 5 sides. And so with my 5 sides, I'm going to have 6 times 8.7. And there should be a 1/2 there, and I think it got moved, or dragging things. So my second step would be to cut the 6 in half, and I get 3 times 8.7. That is going to give me, actually, let me see if I can put this back the way it was before I moved it. There we go. So I've got 3 times 8.7, and I'll drag from this side now. And I get 26.1, so 8 times 3 gives me 24. 3 times 0.7 gives me 2.1. 24 plus 2.1 gives me 26.1. Multiply that times 5. That gives me 130.5 inches squared. Number 6. So to start with, excuse me, if we were doing the third and fourth grade version of this, we would say that we have a 6 on this side, we have a 6 on this side, we can do 6 times 6 to get 36. Well, that is true. However, if we're using the strategy in the lesson, we are saying that we are making triangles that all meet in the middle. So I'm going to have 4 triangles. My formula is going to be 6. Actually, I will now move this way. 1/2 times 6 times 3 to find my area for one of these 4 triangles, assuming that I drew them equally. I'm going to cut my 6 in half to get 3 times 3, which is 9. 9 times 4 of these triangles gives me 36. So we see that that does work. Explain how to use this method to find the area of the square. So I showed the work and I kind of explained it. Here was what I actually wrote as the answer. So this part can be a little bit tricky. The part that I didn't mention was how did I come up with 3 for this? So this is going to be the explanation for that. So it's going to kind of look like an envelope. So we normally think of an envelope looking like a rectangle, and then we've got a little triangle in there. We're going to have a base of 6, but you need to know that the height of each triangle will be half the length of the base. So if I drew a perfect square and then drew 4 perfect triangles going into the middle, the 3-inch mark for that is going to be where all 4 of those meet. So my height for all 4 triangles is going to be 3 inches. So that's where I got that 3 from. So that was the tricky part. Knowing that, you can use that to find the area of the triangle, then multiply by 4 to get the area of the entire shape. If that part doesn't make sense, you please feel free to ask me questions in Google Classroom. I will be happy to explain that part using other examples so that you can kind of get more practice with that idea. So again, we are back to working with a regular hexagon, so we are going to have 6 sides. Our height is going to be 3 meters. Our base is going to be 3 2/5, which is going to translate to 3.4 meters. So I can take that, multiply it by my 1/2 to get 1.7, do that times 3 to get 5.1. So 3 times 1 gives me 3, 3 times 0.7 gives me 2.1, add those together, I get 5.1. Multiply that times 6, I get 30.6 meters squared. Number 2, we are solving again for the area. We have 12 inches for the base, 12.5 for the height of the two. The base would be easier to multiply by 1/2. That reduces down to 6. 6 times 12.5 gives me 75 exactly. So 72 for this part, 3 for the 6 times 0.5. Multiply that times 7, and somewhere on this page I had originally written the work somewhere, but 70 times 7 gives me 490. 7 times 5 gives me 35. 490 plus 35 gives me 525, and that would be inches squared. So hopefully that helps everybody understand the answers to the problem now that you can actually see the work. I will not upload the copy where it's just my face the entire time, so apologies for that. I did have an outro for that. Excuse me. So at the end of the video, I was saying I hope you all have a wonderful Easter. I know things are going to look a little bit different this year than we are used to seeing. So obviously, no big church celebrations in person where we can celebrate with friends and family. And families like mine, we normally get together and have a big for Easter, and that can involve upwards of 30 people. So that's not going to happen for us. So I know for you guys as well, things may look a little bit different, but I hope you have a wonderful and blessed Easter. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you on Monday.